This is the Cybervelo 1000W folding electric bike, a compact, muscular machine with chunky 20 by 4 inch fat tires, a beefy front suspension fork, and a solid folding frame that locks down with a reassuring snap. The removable 48V battery tucks into the frame cleanly, the wiring is routed neatly, and the overall stance looks like a small power cruiser that just happens to fold. I was drawn to it because I wanted serious power and range without giving up the ability to stash it in a tight space. I had a few doubts before my first ride. Folding bikes are often light and easy to carry, but this one is built for strength and range, and that adds mass. Lifting it makes that clear. From my experience, it folds for storage, not for frequent carrying upstairs or onto a bus. Once I made peace with that, everything clicked. On the road, it feels planted, confident, and way more capable than typical compact e-bikes I've tried. Key features that stand out start with the 1000W brushless motor, which can peak higher for quick bursts. Brushless means fewer parts rubbing together, so it's efficient and quiet. It pairs with a 7-speed derailleur, so I can choose a comfortable pedal cadence while the motor does the heavy lifting. The 48-volt 20.8 amp-hour battery equals about 998 watt-hours of energy, and watt-hours are simply a measure of how much juice you can use before recharging. The bike rolls on 20-inch fat tires for grip on pavement, gravel, and sand. There are front and rear disc brakes with EABS, which cuts motor power the moment I pull the brake, so the bike stops cleanly. The LCD shows speed, distance, and battery, and it has a USB port to top off a phone. The front suspension fork and a shock-absorbing seat post smooth out the ride, and the frame folds at the center for storage in a trunk or a small corner of a garage. On performance, the motor is the headline. It pulls hard from a stop and keeps momentum on steep hills that would punish a lower-powered bike. In my opinion, this is where the Cybervelo earns its keep. With pedal assist set around mid-levels, I held over 25 miles per hour on the flat without constantly pushing, and with a bit of tailwind or mild downhill, I saw the speedometer brush close to 30 miles per hour. Top speed will depend on rider weight and terrain, but the pace feels lively and controlled. Acceleration is brisk on throttle, which is the twist or thumb control. That powers the bike without pedaling, and the torque makes starts at traffic lights easy. Range can be strong if I ride smart. The brand claims up to 80+ miles. From my experience, mixing pedal assist in the lower to mid-levels with occasional throttle bursts, I've covered a long day's ride in the 60 to 70 mile window before seeing the battery dip low. If I hold high speeds or climb a lot, the range drops, which is normal. Charging is straightforward. Pop the battery out, bring it inside, plug it in, and it's ready again in several hours. The removable design is a big deal for apartment living or workplace charging. Ride comfort is better than I expected from a 20-inch wheel bike. The fat tires act like soft cushions, the fork filters out sharp hits, and the seat post shock takes the edge off repetitive bumps. On broken city pavement, the bike stays calm. On gravel paths, the wide contact patch keeps grip. On a beach or after a light snow, I can float at moderate speed without the front washing out. It has a stable, cruiser-like feel, though at very high speeds, I've felt a light shimmy that reminded me to keep both hands steady and the tires properly inflated. Braking is reassuring. The dual-disc setup with EABS gives a clean, predictable stop without a tug-of-war between motor and brakes. The levers are firm and the feedback is clear. I keep an eye on pad wear and cable stretch, especially after the first couple of rides, and a quick caliper alignment made them feel dialed. Controls are simple. Pedal assist, or PAS, means the motor helps when I pedal, and there are 5 levels so I can choose how much. I use lower levels for cruising and higher levels for headwinds or hills. The throttle is handy when I want to brake from pedaling or need a quick launch across an intersection. The 7-speed shifter lets me spin comfortably at different speeds. The LCD is easy enough to read most of the time, though in direct noon sun, it can be a little washed out. The USB port is a nice touch for charging a phone or GPS on long rides. Assembly out of the box is mostly done, but I recommend checking the brakes and shifting before the first ride. The bike includes the pedals and seat, and I added a dab of grease on the pedal threads, aligned the front wheel, centered the brake calipers, and tightened every bolt I could see. It's fast work if you've done a bike before, and manageable if you haven't. Just take it step by step. I also tightened the hinge latch once after a short shakedown ride, then it stays solid. Build quality feels tough. The high-carbon steel frame is sturdy and confidence-inspiring. Welds and paint look tidy on my unit. The hinge locks tight with no creaks, and the cables are nicely managed. It's not a feathery frame, and it doesn't pretend to be. That structure is what lets the bike handle real power and bigger hits without flinching.
On usability, folding helps me store it in a small trunk or at the back of an RV. For daily carry-ups, I treat it like a heavy-duty tool. I prefer rolling it and parking it at ground level. It's perfect for riders who want all-terrain versatility and high speed, but don't have space for a full-size fat tire bike. I'm also a fan of the safety of the wide tires in wet conditions. They give me more confidence when it's slick. Service and warranty matter. The brand lists a 1-year warranty on the motor, battery, and controller. I read mixed stories online about response times. In my case, a quick question on setup got a reply within a day, which was fine. I still recommend basic self-reliance. Check bolts, keep the chain clean and lubed, keep tires inflated, and learn simple brake and shift adjustments. It pays off with any powerful e-bike. From my experience, this Cybervelo feels like a foldable power cruiser. It outmuscles typical compact e-bikes, rides smoother than its wheel size suggests, and stretches a single charge impressively far if I use paths wisely. The compromise is weight. I treat the folding hinge as a storage solution, not a carry handle. If you're expecting a featherweight folder, this isn't that. If you're expecting a compact bike that rides like a full-size bruiser, you're right on target. In my opinion, the sweet spot use cases are city commuting over rough streets, weekend trail exploring on gravel or hardpack, beach boardwalks, and RV travel where space is tight but adventure calls. The adjustable fit made it easy for me to get comfortable, and I appreciate the calm, planted ride at normal speeds. I keep a mental cap on speed on crowded paths and wear a helmet every ride because the bike can move. I'd recommend this for riders who want real hill climbing power, strong range, and a cushy ride, and who can handle the heft and basic maintenance. It's perfect for apartment dwellers who charge inside, travelers who want to tuck a bike into a small vehicle, and anyone who wants the confidence of fat tires and solid brakes without giving up speed. If you need to carry a bike up multiple flights every day, or you value ultralight handling above all else, I'd look at a lighter model. In conclusion, the Cybervelo 1000W folding electric bike delivers big motor performance, long battery endurance, and comfort that makes rough surfaces feel easy. It trades easy portability for strength and stability, but if your priority is powerful, flexible riding with smart storage, it's a compelling package. I'm keeping it in my rotation for days when I want to cover real distance, climb without stress, and stash the bike out of the way when I'm done. If this video helped, hit subscribe, drop your questions or your own experience in the comments, and I'll do my best to reply. Thank you for watching.